Good afternoon. Welcome back to YouTube. I was a little bit like, is it actually working or not? My Wi-Fi looked like it cut out a little bit there. Ladies and gents, hello, good afternoon. It's Monday. I can't bloody believe it. I've lost track of days. I don't know where I am. I don't know my name. I literally don't know anything anymore. I just feel extremely confused with this thing called the human experience. So please, as you're jumping on, let me know that you can hear me okay. Let me know that you can see okay. Let me know the lighting's okay. I haven't done a video for a little while. So just let me know that you can hear and see and everything okay. As always, on Monday, I do a video with someone who's really freaking annoying. I love it when he's in the little prison cell and I can see him at the bottom and he's like, screw you, Lucy. So I am going to bring on Mahoney in 1 second. But today, just to remind you guys, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking a little bit about Scotland because obviously David and I were away last week. He was traveling, I was traveling, and it just wasn't going to work out. So we pre-recorded it. So it's the first time we're back with you in a little while. And obviously we prefer to be live with you guys. I like to have a chat with you guys anyway. And we're going to talk a little bit about what went on this weekend. And I can see Elaine's on here. She was in Manchester yesterday. Hello, babes. Good to have you back. And we're just going to cover off a little bit of that. And then we're going to talk about, it's time to remind yourself, like it's time to bring your mind back online. And that's what we're talking about here. The reason I've put it as a re and then a dash and a mind, it's about bringing the mind back online. Okay. So obviously where David and I are concerned, we always go off on tangents. We always end up in a pickle and we always end up going to places that we wouldn't normally go to. But there is one thing that we are going to do today, and that is share a new video with you because Mahoney's been busy working on it. Oh, two. He's holding up 2 fingers. Luckily, he's not doing it that way. He's doing it that way. He's going to show you 2 new videos tonight. So without further ado, at 5:05 in the UK. Hello.
Lucy, I was just listening to your intro. Hello, everybody. If you don't know what's going on with the human experience, all hope is lost because we're only watching this so you can guide us through this entertainment maze of what's going on.
It's a shit show, Mahoney.
Where are you? Antarctica?
It's bloody cold here, my love. It's bloody cold. Where are you?
I'm in southern Spain. It was 27 degrees today. It was beautiful.
Stop.
You know, it's actually annoying, folks, and I'd like you to all share my my pain because as much as women have a thing for shoes, I have a thing for leather jackets. I have hundreds, literally. I must have 60 leather jackets. And I can't wear any of them because it's just too hot. So I'm officially making a complaint. And this global warming thing might actually be true because it's ruining my leather jacket jamboree.
David, I have a solution to your problem. You know you like solutions. I've got a really good solution to your problem.
I probably don't want to hear it, no, knowing you. It probably means I have to get rid of stuff. That's usually your solution. When I talked about my motorcycles.
Well, no. Hey, listen, I didn't tell you to get rid of your motorcycles. I just triggered something inside of you that went, I'm getting rid of all my motorcycles. That's not my doing. I'm just the catalyst that creates this stuff. But anyway, I've got a really good solution. I prefer to be in bikinis. You want to wear your leather jackets. Why don't we switch?
You want to do one of those house trading?
House swaps. Yeah, why not?
It'd be a really bad one for you, though, because my house is full of strange things and old what do you call them, movie props, and I've got stuff from all over the place. Looking around the desk in the studio here, I've got mental stuff. Like, what's this? What is this? A geo-based map references for ancient Rome, underground, where they were going and how far below the road. I've got like pages and pages of stuff like this.
Did you say Rome? Did you say Rome?
Roman, local Roman stuff. Did I say Rome? I meant Roman. Okay. I meant Roman. But anyway, we can talk about it.
I zoned out. And I think you said exactly what I was supposed to hear, which is why I had to ask you to repeat it because as you know, because I've been telling you, I've been channeling about Roman all weekend.
Roman, have you really?
The fact that you've just held that up, I'm like, okay, perhaps that document might be for me. I don't know. Who knows?
How have you been, Lucy? Me, I've been very well. I was away again this weekend. I've got this stuff going on in the middle of Andalusia. So I'm tracking down this ancient. It's an ancient missing book. Basically, it's a book that the original popes all added secrets into, and it disappeared during Sir Walter Raleigh's raid on Cadiz. Did I ever mention this to you? And every now and again, I get a little bit more of a briefing about it, and I'll just say, okay, let's have another look. If I get a day here, a day here, there. But I didn't get anything much this weekend. I got distracted, and I went to see I was with some family, so I didn't do much this weekend. But anyway, I'm back in Marbella now. I was up the country, Lucy, in the middle of Andalusia, driving around. Lovely it were.
Yeah,
Where have you been? You're up in Manchester, weren't you?
I've been in Manchester. Yeah, I've been up with the up north with the Mancunians is where I've been. And actually, it was really quite beautiful when I was up there for part of the time. It was raining other parts, but yeah, it was good. It was a pretty wild adventure. Did some amazing work on Saturday with my beautiful team. If any of you are watching, I love you. And then obviously did Mark Atwood's event yesterday, which was really cool. Very, very interesting to see how the different energies are coming together and what's happening behind the scenes. And it's just extremely, extremely interesting what's taking place at the moment. But you were missed, Mahoney, yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
People said to me, is David not coming? And I'm like, no, he's not here.
I suppose because we've done that many events together now, I suppose they think we come as some sort of strange double act.
Yeah, I know. Everybody sees us as a partnership now. They're always like, "Where's your partner in crime?" And I'm like, "Well, I do things without him." But I could have done with you on Saturday, Mahoney.
I'm not going to see you for a while now because you got some other stuff cooking. I know. I don't know if you're going to talk about that or not, but I know that you're traveling again. So I'm not going to see you for a while.
Wednesday.
So no more Lucy and David adventures for a few weeks. Thank God. Yeah.
You're going to miss me. I know you're going to miss me when I'm offline in the Sahara doing my crazy stuff that I do, which I'll have to tell you about offline. It's all the dots have connected today, exactly as they do a few days before I go. So I'll have to tell you that offline, what's going on. It's going to excite you, I think.
I know what you're going to do. If Mark Atwood and you are going to get together and try to convince me, because
Stop it.
I've looked where it is. It's 500 miles from me. I can do it in 14 hours, but I don't really want to be driving across the Atlas Mountains by myself, because what am I going to do? Talk one of my normal 3D mates into saying, do you want to come to this amazing event in Morocco? And he's going to say, yeah, what is it? And I'm going to have to tell him. He's going to go, no way,
man. David, all I hear is excuses. Like a parrot on acid. That's all I hear right now.
That's mine, you. Listen, the parrot on acid is mine.
The cross was mine. Many of my one-liners you use, Mr. Mahoney. Don't even go there, you cheeky little minx.
Where are we going today? I'm going to try to sidestep the telling off, as you
can
see.
Yeah, I know, right? No. I'm not telling you off. All I hear is excuses. I'm just calling you out on your bullshit. Wow. And everybody loves that. Wow. So where are we going to go today? Let's start in Scotland, because we haven't done a video on my channel. I know I came on your channel last week. I don't know when it was, but at some point I was there. I know I've done a video with you recently. We spoke about Scotland, but I do think it's very important that we talk about it a little bit here, because we weren't able to do that on here, and I haven't really spoken about it too much. You're not going to miss me. Everyone's going, we're going to miss you. You're not going to miss me. I promise you. I'm only going to be gone. I'm going to be in the Sahara for 5 days. I'm assuming I'm not going to have data when I'm in there, but I don't know. You never know these days. Do you get what I mean? Like, you just don't know what's available. And I would really like to do an 11/11 meditation. I'd like to utilize the portal of 11/11 to create a massive shift, especially after what I've been shown today as to the reason that I'm actually going in there anyway. So I will definitely look to do that as soon as I possibly can. But obviously it depends on data. So David, should we just backstep a little bit? Can I have in maybe 1 or 2 words? How was your experience in Scotland?
Another eye-opener, really, Lucy. Am I free to talk openly on this one? Somewhat.
Little bit. Just
A little bit.
Just talk.
All right. So
skirt around it a little bit, just because you never know.
Well, the thing is, there's not that I'm going to reveal any trade secrets or anything, but it's just the dramatic change. People are not going to believe me if I don't. This is what I'm saying. I've got to prep this chat because, I mean, as I spend more and more
Over
time
to you.
with
I'm going to have some water. I'm going to kick back and.
I tell you, Lucy. I tell you what you can do while I'm talking is figure out how we can do a screen share or take those videos I sent you. I don't know how to do it.
Just click the button called present at the bottom and you share.
Well, it's like, okay, present. Oh, there we go. All right. So
got it.
Easy.
Right,
that wasn't difficult, was it? So there was some interesting stuff happened in Scotland this time. You see, this is a very slow progress for me. My background is very, I have always been able to sense things. You know, I can sense when there's a spirit in the room, if you want to call it a ghost or an energy, whatever you can. I get all the hairs in my arms go up. I can move it in and out, and I can track it down using that. I've never had any fear of them. In fact, anything in the darkness is very, very scared of me. I found out quite early in my life because I started playing with it. A lot of people went into different traveling, like astral projection. I don't know if that's what I was doing, but I was certainly playing with things in the spirit world, in the astral world, and I was mischievous. I am a raccoon. So I had one particular incident where I was protecting somebody for quite a few months while they were going through some tough changes or some different channels in their lives, moving through different things. So every night I was going and protecting them from something in the darkness. So I was out, it wouldn't face me. So over this shoulder, turn around, over that shoulder, turn around. But that experience combined with what your work is doing, when you start saying, oh, I know what's going on, I know what this is, I know what that is. But there's been some dramatic changes in there because the time I've spent with you, I've been able to identify what particular feelings are what. Okay, that's a good one. That's a bad one. To be able to identify what my first instinct is. Like we did something yesterday. What happened? Where's she gone? Am I alone now? She did something yesterday where she asked me to help her, and I went in and helped on a protection basis. And I could feel I was early or she was late. So I don't know what's happened, if we're still going or not. Where's Lucy gone? She's dropped out. Am I talking, guys? You hear me? Or is it just me imagining this? What happened? Well, I'm going to mute.
Can you guys hear me?
What happened there?
I don't know. Literally, my screen just went black and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? They didn't like something. It's okay. You can hold.
They didn't like that, did they?
No. So what were we talking about? What were you talking about?
I don't know if it was still recording or not. So I kind of thought, oh, let's see, because I'm not going to share this story and then have to do it again. I was saying that now that I've been able to identify what each particular feeling, emotion, and sensation is, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. And then some of the stuff that you asked me to help you with yesterday, I was quite surprised. I was saying, listen, I came in early and it was a remote protection I got involved with. And you were like, whoa, yeah, you spot on. You were early. So being able to have the confidence and now the knowledge to say, okay, that's what this is, David. This is what that is, David. This is what you're doing now, David. I've learned so much. And it's fascinating stuff because now with the skills that we both have, when we're going into places, it's quite fun to say, what are you feeling here? What are you feeling there? And in fairness, I'm not getting the channeling and the voices, but I am getting there with the energies and the recognition of where we have to go and what we have to do. So thank you, Lucy.
It's been pretty cool, actually, hasn't it?
For example, the stones in Dundee, it's quite far apart. When I was connecting with them like a month ago, I couldn't get much out of them. I was like, yeah, it's a stone, feels cold. But now
it's a stone, Lucy. That's what you used to say. It's a stone.
Yeah. But now when I get them, I just got a clear, like, okay, I'm not getting anything from this one. Then when I touched another one, I said, oh, this one was part of a roof structure on a long tunnel. It's not supposed to be here. And then the other one was very chaotic. I just got all this confusion energy. But it's something that you have to learn how to do. I learned how to do it because next to you, and you just clear your mind, and it's the first thing that pops into your head, really. And it's be able to take all the different things. And the confusion stone was confusing to me. I thought, well, it's just all over the place. I said, it's like confused. You said, yeah, could be confused as well. So that's what has happened in Scotland.
Watching my not so little protege come online. Honestly, it's like, oh, it's just beautiful. It's so amazing just hearing you, and just because I know how much you've shifted. You know, we did our first thing together in July in Ireland, wasn't it? Because we were in Glastonbury together, but we didn't do any energy work there. I did it with my team before I came to you. And so the first thing that you and I actually did together was in Ireland in July. Now that's not that many months ago, you know, and the way that you are now and the way that you're tapping into things, and I loved it. Like, so on Saturday I did some massive work in Manchester. I won't move on from Scotland just yet, but did some big work in Manchester on Saturday, and David literally said to me, was I early or were you late? And I was like, no, I was late. Like, we were late. Me and my team got distracted doing something else because there were 5 points that we needed to look at and we needed to sort out. But because obviously David was away, it wasn't like I wasn't on the phone going, oh, I just gave him the time where I needed him to be. And then obviously the shit hit the fan a little bit later, didn't it? And I was like, I need you.
Yeah.
And I was in a bit of a precarious situation at that point, but you know what it is.
The interesting thing is, it's for me, I think it's a very nice, you have this soft female energy. And I said, right, listen, if I'm going to do this, I'm coming in hard and I'm coming in fast. So you better tell your team that this is going to be aggressive and violent and fast and swift, because what we had to do demanded that. Yeah. And I like that. I can get in there. I like that. So anyway, yeah, I've learned a lot, and I'm looking forward to the next one. I don't know what we're going to be doing next, but I'm sure it's not going to be skipping through the tulips, flower arranging.
Don't pretend you don't know where we're. Yes, you do. You know.
I know. I think there'll be one. I think there'll be one in between that. That one that we've got planned and booked. I think there's going to be one in between that. I think they're going to have a cheeky one somewhere. I have a feeling.
Oh, ladies and gents, I love that. I love the mysticism, and it's saying 111 at the moment as for people watching. So maybe
shall we?
You're tapping something there. Can I just, before we go on, can I just just close out a couple of bits? I know you're being very impatient tonight. I'm feeling your impatience, Mahoney.
Oh no.
Do you need a little shoulder rub or something just to calm down a little bit, and just, you know, you're still in work mode?
Maybe. Can you send around one of your experts, please? I do it remotely. Go on. Where are you going next?
I just wanted to wrap up with the fact, because obviously touched on Dundee Stone Circle in Scotland, and a number of people have reached out to me and gone, oh my God, I'm Scottish. Thank you so much. I felt the energy shift, blah, blah, blah. I just want you to know that we touched on a lot of areas in Scotland. We won't go into all of them here. But we've touched on a lot of areas in Scotland, and there was a massive shift that took place. You know, a bit like we've explained before with the weather. All of a sudden, the weather will change. Like, it's the same things like that. When we're doing work, Dave and I together, or I'm doing it with my team and David's energetic, we get these really crazy shifts. Things just happen very, very quickly, and you know, so we are, every time we're doing something stronger and stronger, isn't it? And I think because you and I are, you know, a partnership doing this now, that you know, the energy is really, really building even more so, because, you know, it's all good and well me going in and doing something, but it's very, very one-sided. It's very divine feminine. And although I carry masculine and you know, I'm a bit of a warrior, it doesn't mean that, you know, those energies, you know, it's important to have because there's no ego between David and I. Although he did tell me off today, ladies and gents. I'm just going to like throw that out there. He did tell me off because I didn't do it the way that it was supposed to be. But you know,
no, you know what?
And that's what's important. I'm taking the piss. David, I'm taking the piss.
Good.
I'm taking the piss. I just wanted a little bite from you, and you did.
Oh, like that, is it? Right then.
I like it when you bite a little bit, you know. I just see you getting uncomfortable in your chair. So I just have to give you that little dig, just poke the bear a little bit, you know. Nikki, what's fascinating is a lot of the ladies that I saw at the weekend, just gone, said how much the energy has shifted in Scotland. I think it was like the day after we left Dundee that there was riots, right? Something like that. Like literally, I go to places, or David's with me in a place, and just it's like we throw an energetic bomb in there, and then things change, and you know, things just cleanse themselves naturally. Shall I share the story of our last night in Scotland?
Yeah, I was just laughing about. Yeah, I just had a little chuckle when I said goodbye. We were sitting in the bar, and I always have a pint before I go. I'll have a Guinness or something. And I had a packet of crisps, and I said, "I'm leaving you, and I'm taking the crisps." Yeah, the hotel. Yeah, go on. That's a good one. The hotel story. Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. We love messing about, me and him. So basically, I didn't tell David that I was doing this. Denise, remind me. I'll come back to Manchester in a minute, babe, because it's very important what you've just put there. So on the last day, David and I had a really powerful day, didn't we? I was a bit of an emotional wreck because I turned up somewhere and it was literally what I'd seen in meditation a few days earlier. Then there was all of these shifts and whatever. And to be honest, and it's fair to say, David, I actually get quite emotional at the end of the weekend, don't I? Not because I'm going to miss you, but because I've done a lot of work. There's been a lot of shifts, and I just kind of like, you know, get a bit emotional, especially in Ireland.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not listening now. I've zoned out, Lucy. I'm not listening anymore.
I was reading a comment. Sorry, I was reading a comment.
So basically, I set this intention. This is why I don't bother speaking to him. I set this intention, and I didn't tell him. I just reached out to my granddad, and I said, "Granddad, show me that the work that we've done here has been a success." Because as much as people will be like, "Oh, she needs validation," I don't. It's just my granddad is like my person. He's the one that woke me up. He's the person that helps guide me. He's by my side the whole time, and you know, I just always reach out to him to just give me a cheeky little sign. So it's pitch black, pissing down with rain, right? We're in the car. David's driving because I was like, I've had enough of driving. So David's driving, and it is literally hammering it down. And we're on the way to this hotel that I haven't even booked. So I'm like annoying him because I've got my feet up on the dash as always, and just like literally just going through. And I'm like, I can't make a decision. I don't know which one to go for. I have to beat what you did last time. Oh, I just, you know. Anyway, I ended up, he was like, for fuck's sake, woman, make a decision. And it's not very often he'll speak to me like that. It's not, is it? It's very rare that you do that. But I was about an hour and a half with my head in my phone, like looking at hotels, just going, I don't know. He doesn't even know where he was going.
And then saying, what about this one? What about this one? And I'd say, that looks good. And then you say, no, we're not getting that one.
Listen, I'm not normally that annoying, am I? But on this occasion, I was being really freaking annoying. I was just like, I don't know where I want us to be. Because we had a competition going. I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
we were competing with
tell them about the competition. I think that's important.
Okay. So I don't even know when it was, on the Saturday, David decided that we were going to have a competition going forwards, whatever trip we're on, whereby we take it in turns to book hotels, and we go one better than the last place. So David found this amazing hunting. Go on. Clearly, I've said that wrong.
Yeah, it has to look haunted. It's not about the bloody sheets and the bar area and the spa. It has to look haunted.
No, it has to have some sort of energy there. That's what we said, right? It was about energy. Yeah. So David picks an ex-hunting lodge because he's like, haha, she'll be freaked out by all the weird stuff going on in there. Because the previous night, I'd already had 100 Frenchmen in my room, like in spirit, by the way, not real men. These 100 spirits came into my room, at least 100. There were so many of them in there. And so David was like, haha, we should make a bit of a competition out of that. So the next place he decides to pick, and it's like I said, an ex-hunting lodge. And it was quite interesting, wasn't it? It was quite an interesting place.
Yeah, energetically.
And we had a fun time there. So I'm like, I need to get better. I need to find something with something really fun that we can play with in the evening, so we can go and do a bit of a ghost hunt or whatever, because me and him do weird shit like that. So we're driving along and I'm being really annoying, not able to pick a hotel. And then all of a sudden I go, fine, okay, I've booked one. And David had already told me it was too far away. Like, let's get a hotel closer. We can do a bit of driving tomorrow. And I was like, no, I want to go there. So we ended up going there. Anyway, like I say, I connected with my granddad and I said to him, just show me that you're, the work's been done and that we're good. Anyway, we get to this hotel. David looks at me and he's like, you bitch, I'm never going to get better than this, because it was like a real creepy old mansion house, wasn't it? But it was amazing. It was stunning, absolutely stunning, on beautiful grounds. We walk in and it's like amazing. It wasn't it? It was just amazing. And I just looked at him and I was like, ha ha, I've definitely won this one. Anyway, we walk up.
Every single step on the wooden floor was squeaking.
It was, but it was amazing. It was so amazing. Anyway, so we're at the check-in thing, and because I'd called up a couple of times and had a chat with the guy about dinner reservations and about us being late and all sorts of weird and wonderful things like that, the guy obviously had spoken to me on the phone a couple of times. So when I rock up and he's like, oh, hi, nice to meet you, blah, 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 welcome, kind of thing. Anyway, we're chatting away, and I've forgotten about this validation I've asked my granddad at this point. Anyway, he hands me the key number 4. And I look at David. David obviously has no clue, but my granddad's number to communicate with me is the number 4. His birthday was the 4th of April. Like, I was 2-2, he was 4-4, and he always communicates with me either as a blackbird or as the number 4. So this guy gives me the room key number 4, and I'm like, oh, getting emotional at check-in. David's like, for fuck's sake, woman, pull it together. And I'm like, you don't understand. Being a typical woman. And anyway, go up to the room and it is just freaking outstanding, wasn't it? They upgraded to the most beautiful suite you could possibly imagine. And I was like, that's my granddad. He's just completely sorted me out and given me the most amazing room. It was stunning, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was very jealous. But luckily, the room next to it, it's kind of like they close the door and lock it, and then you can turn it from one suite into another. So we were both using the same living room, I suppose, wasn't it, where the piano was, which was fun.
I let you in there, you mean? So I got serenaded by Mahoney playing the piano. You were loving it, weren't you? You were like, Lucy, let me play on the piano. I'm like, oh my God, really? But it was amazing. Yeah. And ladies and gents, the reason I wanted to share this with you is all you need to do is ask. You've just got to ask, and your guides will look after you. I've had some mad stuff happen on the 4th of April. I've been upgraded to first class on an airline that I've never flown with before. It's just crazy things. Just ask your guides to just come in and support you. And when you're doing God's work, and I think it was quite a nice validation for you, wasn't it, that we're obviously doing God's work, because I only paid for a normal room and they put us in their top suite. Oh, me in their top suite and him next door. Because I'm the princess. I'm the princess, of course. But then what was really fascinating was we went for dinner, didn't we?
Yeah.
Do you want to share?
Yeah, she sits there. I go down first because, I'm always have a shirt on. I had a nice Hugo Boss shirt on. And I said,
I look like a
Lucy, you got to de-gypsify yourself. You can't go down like that. I said, would there be any chance you could put on a bit of eye makeup and maybe something that doesn't come out of a packet from a sports shop, maybe? Something like that?
He didn't say that, ladies and gents. I said, I'm going to change. He would never speak to me like that, ever. But I love the fact that you've just taken it for the team. I like it.
I like it. I like living. So I go downstairs. I'm waiting. We're at table number 4 again. Oh, here we go. Number 4. And she comes down eventually, and I've already started on. I had a whiskey.
Eventually, I was only about 10 minutes behind you.
Well, how long does it take to have 2 whiskeys? In my case,
about
you
30 seconds. Did you? You pisshead.
No, I only had one, but it was a family-sized one. Anyway, she sits down, and then she starts putting her head down like this and kind of smiling and giggling at me and going, I said, what's the matter now? Are you not happy with this? What's the matter? I looked at the menu. There's vegan stuff. There's vegetarian stuff. You're okay? No. She says, it looks like we're not going to be having dinner alone. So I look around to my left and there's a bunch of oldies all talking really slow with a very distinct Scottish accent, but really slow. And I immediately had a nightmare thinking, oh, Christ, that's going to take like 3 hours just to have an introduction. And then the other side was a couple who obviously hate each other because they were both on the phones. I was saying, what are you talking about? We don't know any of these people. And I'm not going to, I've been driving for 5 hours. I'm not going to sit there. She said, no. She said, well, my grandfather's here and somebody else. I said, so I'm holding a knife and fork on the start. I said, who's here? What? How much weirder can this get now at this stage? She was here. So she says, your father is here as well, who's been dead since 2013. So my dad turned up, but I didn't get emotionally upset. I just went, are you serious? She said, yeah. And then to validate it, she starts speaking Gaelic words at me, which my dad used to say. She was going, I said, what? Are you having a seizure? So my father was always unhappy with the way that I didn't use the Gaelic pronunciation of my name. I always used the English version. He used to tease me about it, saying, why you always use that English name? That's not your name. You need to use the Irish one. And she said it. She pronounced it in Gaelic.
It started coming out of my mouth, and I'm like, blah, 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 blah. It was fun, wasn't it?
It was fun.
So I've won that. I won that competition that weekend because I had all of the ghosts and the spirits with me. But you got some nice messages, didn't you, from it? It was quite nice.
Yeah, I mean, it was very nice. There were loving messages. Says he's proud of me. He's watching what I'm doing. He says I can see how many people I'm helping and carrying what you're doing. He says you're not finished yet. You have a lot to do still, but you're on the right path.
That chick that you were with was the best thing ever.
What chick?
He didn't.
You.
Me.
Yeah, you could have just said that though. He says, "Oh,
he
you
didn't
like."
Say that. He didn't say that at all. He didn't say that at all. But I just thought I'd add that in. So yeah, no, we ended up having a great time, didn't we?
Scotland was good. Shall I play the Scotland movie?
Yeah, why not? Go. Have you figured it out?
File. Where is it? Man,
just whilst you're figuring that out. Yeah. I'll just answer what Denise said. So Denise, we did do some amazing work in Manchester, but there was a message that got given just as we were finishing up the work. And actually, it's so sad that somebody actually was found in one of the canals yesterday when we were doing some of the work at the event in Manchester. So it's really tragic, and it aligns with the message that we got, which is just tragic. I just hope that we would be able to avoid it, but you know what, it is, I guess it is what it is. That soul chose his path. So hopefully after tomorrow 8 p.m. tomorrow evening, so we just have to pray that there's no more. After tomorrow 8 p.m. we should be good. If you figured it out, Mahoney.
I figured out the first one, but no the second.
Which is the first one?
I've got it now. All right.
Okay, we're going to play a little video for you now.
Yeah. Is everybody ready?
Everybody's sitting comfortably.
Share screen. Window.
So the answer was no, Lucy. I haven't sorted it.
Well, I think I've sorted it. Got it.
Go for your guns then. Oh, there you go. Yeah, perfect.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Is that the whole video? Can you see the whole screen?
I can see now. I can see the whole screen. Yeah.
All right. Let me know how the volume is because I've never tried this before. Let's go.
Can't hear it.
No volume?
No volume at all.
Okay. I think I know why. What's that little bastard there? All right, let's start again.
That's the volume.
Anything now?
Yeah, perfect. And now the volume's gone off. Mahoney, you need to take your mute off. Mahoney, take yourself off mute.
Right, hang on.
We can't. If you mute yourself, we can't hear it. So you need to leave yourself with the with your not on mute.
Well,
yeah.
Can you hear it now, though?
No, because that one's muted now. Oh my God, this is hard work, isn't it?
Well, it shouldn't be. It was working a minute ago. I'm back on. Let me check that settings. I'm sorry, guys. I don't use this one very much. So let's stop screen share.
Yeah, you
and
figure that
it's
out.
over there.
Yeah. It's
and then go back in.
It was working fine, but as soon as you put yourself on mute, the volume went.
Right.
That's all that happened. It's just you put yourself on mute and then the volume went. That's it.
Okay, so
all right.
How about that? Can you see that?
Yes.
Right, let's try. I won't touch anything now, okay? Ready?
Cool.
Can you hear it?
Yes.
Right.
Why the angle is the angle that it is.
More of an accurate word. Because this wasn't a battle between the Scottish and the English. Because there was Scottish and English fighting on both sides. And even French soldiers. The top of the siege line.
Unless this isn't the front.
It's day 2 here in Scotland, and we're way in the very north. We're near, we're in a town called Elgin.
Brilliant.
Area of what happens in these places. I feel you would slip right back this way.
You can be careful what you wish for.
I love that so much, honestly. Do you know he made me switch sides with him because God knows why. And then he started moaning because the Loch Ness Monster was coming up behind him.
Oh, you little twister. That's not true. Well, we showed them the stone there, guys. For those that you're wondering what the stone in the glass case was, it's the weirdest thing. I've seen stones and ancient monuments all over the world, and that's the only one I know that's encased in a glass box anywhere in the world, no matter what the conditions are. So there's only 2 reasons I can think of, and it's either keep something in or keep something out. So that was the emotional one that Lucy had to break. There was 2 different things going on there. Or was there 3? There was definitely 2.
There was a number of things going on there, wasn't there? And what was really interesting, ladies and gents, that's the place that I actually saw in my meditation on the Wednesday, and that was on the Sunday. Literally Wednesday meditation, I saw this thing and I was like, wow. And I was explaining to you, wasn't I, about the codes and stuff that were embodied in it. And then there we are on Sunday. We turn up, David's driving, and I'm like, stop the fucking car. Stop the car. I'm so dramatic. Honestly, I'm a nightmare, aren't I? I'm very, 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 very dramatic. When I get excited about something, I was like, stop the fucking car. And it was just so beautiful. But it was a powerful, powerful, powerful day. And lots and lots of shifts took place from that place. It was extremely exciting. Did you say you wanted to play another video?
Yeah,
do that
I've got something else I've been playing with. They're
going to love this.
I wanted to, so let me tell the audience, I wanted to do something cinematic because what we've been doing, we've got so much material now. I'm saying, Lucy, we got to do something with it. So what I did, guys, is this was all done by a vision I had. And I've had this in my head for at least a year before I met Lucy. And I said, Lucy, let me run with something. And it's something I've just had this vision from doing it last year. So I took some of the cinematic stuff I've done, and I put this together about our adventures decoding Andalusia. And no one's seen this before. So let's show it to you and see what emotion.
Just before you do, can I just give a little bit of extra? So David and I, the way that we want to take it, I want to be extra. Don't you start, Mahoney, I'll get on a plane and I'll come and slap you. Just
Smack
because
you.
you're not seeing me for a couple of weeks, it doesn't mean that you can get away with being cheeky. Oh, any more than you normally do. So what basically we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating much longer episodes of really beautiful things so that you guys can kind of come on the journeys that we've been on with us. So David's putting all of the content together so we can have a really beautiful, almost like, you know, a 30 or a 40-minute program, if you like. So this, when David proposed it to me, it was, I was like, yeah, you know, it sounds absolutely amazing. And it's kind of like the start of the journey, isn't it? This is going to be like the opening part of the start of our journey, because it was the start of our journey, wasn't it? So,
yeah,
or it's at least in Spain anyway. So I think all of you ladies that are watching now are just going to go, oh, it's so beautiful, because I did when I watched it. I got quite emotional about it. The men are going to love it because it's very masculine as well. So we'd love to hear your feedback in the comments if David can show this.
The other thing is, for those that are watching tonight, you're familiar with our work, but as we break through into different barriers and we reach more and more people, it's important that we come in with a strong sense of what we're doing. And so I wanted to create something that's going to make people go, what's that? That's cool. So it's not finished. It's a working draft. I have to tweak it, Lucy, but I didn't want to wait anymore, because you know what happens? You start tweaking. You never release it.
I think you need to stop. I think you need to stop tweaking it. I personally think it's perfect, but let's see what everybody else says, because you don't listen to me.
Let me see. I gotta cue it up then. So yeah.
Okay. So once David's shown this video, what we're going to do is David and I were actually speaking earlier today about the learning process and the way that the mind is working. So I think we'll just close out today with a little bit around that, because it's very important that our minds, we just kind of check our mind at the moment and bring that back online. So once David's done this, we'll talk about it, because you gave some really amazing examples earlier today about children and stuff like that. I think this would really, really help people.
Yeah. All right. That's all right. We'll do that then. No problem, Lucy. I understand. I will comply.
Can you always be that obedient, please?
No promises.
I'd like that. I'd like that a lot. Remember not to mute yourself, Mahoney, please, because we need the music for this. Turn your volume up, ladies and gents.
It opens up with you talking, so you'll hear it.
Mahoney, I'm on my way to the airport now. Don't you dare forget to pick me up. We have got some huge work to be doing.
Yo no soy esa que tú te imaginas, una señorita tranquila y sencilla que un día abandonas y siempre perdona. Esa niña sí, no, esa no soy yo. Yo no soy esa que tú te creías, la paloma blanca que te baila el agua, que ríe por nada, diciendo sí a todo. Esa niña sí, no, esa no soy yo. No podrás presumir jamás de haber jugado con la verdad, con el amor de los demás. Si en verdad me quieres, yo ya no soy esa que sea cobarda frente a una borrasca, luchando entre olas, encuentra la playa. Esa niña sí, no, esa no soy yo. Pero si buscas tan solo aventuras, amigo, pon guardia.
Perez International Airport. I'm looking for Lucy. She says she's come through already, but I can't see her.
Yo no soy esa que tú te imaginas, una señorita tranquila y sencilla que un día abandonas y siempre perdona. Esa niña sí, no, esa no soy yo. Esa niña sí, no,
Amazing.
No soy yo. Esa niña sí.
Amazing. Who wants to see the first episode? I do. I do, definitely. I really, really, really want to see it. It's amazing. I think you need to stop playing around with that, Mahoney. It looks amazing.
It looks good, and it's a very good, you know, if you speak Spanish, it's it says, I'm not the girl that you think I am. And I think it's very appropriate for you. It says, if you think I'm going to be the girl that you can just mess around and leave on the beach and not turn up again, you're mistaken. That's not me. So it's quite appropriate for you.
You must have known somewhere inside that you were going to meet some kick-ass woman to go on lots of adventures with.
Yeah, I like it. It's a fun, romantic. It's very cinematic. That so, the car's a 1967 500 GT Mustang. Belongs to a friend of mine.
There was a few comments about what a beautiful car.
Yeah, it looks great on camera. We actually were shooting something else, and I took the footage for that. And I've been planning that shot. I can't do it in the midsummer because the sun is too high. You got to do it in late afternoon in the autumn. So I was planning it for months, and it all fits in beautifully. So we'll tweak that. We'll use that because decoding Andalusia, exactly what we did this summer, Lucy. We did it. We went all around the place.
We did. And actually, David, I just want to acknowledge you actually look really handsome in that.
In what?
Just want to acknowledge it. In your shooting it. You look really handsome.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
I know you don't like compliments, so I thought I'd just say that, you know. Watch you cringe a little bit.
Yeah, I don't have the advantage of being able to put on a bit of mascara and makeup, you know. Oh. And but thank you. It's when I get into the film work, it's quite fun because I know exactly where to put the camera. I was like, get in that lift and shoot over my shoulder. And the guy was going, what are you talking about? I just shoot it. When the door opens, just push the camera ball. Oh, fuck me. What's the matter with you?
And this is how he is with me when we're on the road, right? I've never had 1 ounce of training. I've never had 1 ounce of film or cinematic training in the slightest. And he's like, Lucy, just do this and it's just going to be magical. And it actually does normally turn out okay. But I can imagine he proper nags people that do know how to do it. So
no, actually I'm teasing you. They were young kids. But you know the drone work now, Lucy, the guy wears a pair of goggles and he has like a joystick. Those drone shots that you can get, like chasing the car up these really thin bushy lanes. I mean, it's amazing what you can do. And I've got a lot more footage I haven't put in there. I haven't run through the color grading yet. So it's just a little teaser I made on my phone just so you guys get the idea of what we're going to do. So I want to do it very cinematic when we do launch the episodes and how many countries and places, because we have got a lot of very strong ideas, and Lucy's getting all of her guides are saying what we have to do and where we have to go. So I want to do it cinematically like that as much as I can with a limited crew. So there you go. Where are we going next?
Well, don't you? So I get my kicks, you get your kicks, and we're all happy, aren't we? We're like
everybody happy.
Exactly.
Everybody happy.
So where am I going next? I go to Morocco on Wednesday. And
no.
What were we talking about then?
I meant on the show tonight. We're talking about.
Oh, right. Okay, cool. Let's go to this, what we were talking about, what I call remembering and you call learning, right? It's really important because you and I had a really beautiful conversation this morning, and I suggested that we speak about learning, like reminding people what they came here to do. And actually, you went to a place that I think is probably more important than that, and that was an experience that you had over the weekend where you observed a behaviour of a parent and a child. Do you want to share that? Start from there.
Yeah. Okay. So the Spanish are a nation of shouters. There's a lot of amazing things about them, but I'm just going to say one thing. They shout at each other. I was trying to have lunch yesterday and there was 5 people in the room. I couldn't stay in the room because they're just all shouting. But what they do is they do strange things, like they'll shout over instead of walking over and saying, hey, can I get you something to drink? They'll shout, what do you want to do? You know, they're shouters. So as I was in this beautiful park, I was walking through it, cutting through to where my car was. I saw a mother screaming at her son, who would have been around 4 or 5, because he did something wrong. And he was holding what looked like a model airplane, maybe a kite-looking thing. He had something that was obviously flying, and she was shouting, pointing at him like this from above. And I thought, you know what? I immediately identified that. I said, that's trauma. I said, that woman has grown up with her mother or father doing that, and now she's projecting it onto that little boy, and that little boy is going to do that again to his kids. So I didn't do anything because it was, I was moving too fast. But I thought you could stop that so easy if you just said, listen, you don't need to shout at the boy. Explain to him what he did wrong. Little boys, you know what they're like. They're very rambunctious, and they can get a little bit clumsy, and things get broken. But if you just kneel down and put your knee on the floor and got eye to eye level and said, baby, you know what? It would be better if you didn't do it here because there's old people here, or maybe don't just do it a little bit further over there because you might lose it there. But instead, she chose to be shouting and screaming. And I just said, it's the total wrong thing to do. So here's where I went in the conversation with Lucy. I said, Lucy, why don't we talk about being able to identify the mistakes that your parents made, being able to spot, okay, as you travel through your trauma identification path, saying, okay, my mother used to hit me. My father used to shout at me. Because, I am a parent. I never ever hit my son. And I never actually even had to shout at him. He was an exemplary. I don't know why. We never even grounded him, but that's unusual. And I don't particularly think it's from amazingly skillful parenting. I think it's just because he was a very considerate kid. He's 25 now. So, you know what? My mother used to hit us with shoes and anything she could pick up, but we deserved it. We were great big bloody animals roaming around inside the living room. And it did, she used to slap us with her hands when we, and it did nothing. So I have no resentment from that, because it was just like, it's like a fly trying to hit me with it. But I can see how so many people in their life, Lucy, have traumas that their parents have put in there from the way that their parenting skills have impacted them, and they're bringing it forward into their lives now. And it's not just with kids, it's how they react. Here's another example. I was in a business meeting with a guy the other day. He must be hard up for money, because when I brought up to question him about the invoice and how he spent the funds I've distributed, he was pouring some concrete for one of the projects I'm involved with. I said, well, hang on a second. Where's all that gone? And he went ballistic. Don't you question me. I said, he spent the money. He's taken the money. He's used it in a different project. And now he's trying to flip that round to say, how dare you question me? Do you think my moral standard is so much that I would dip the kitty? I said, well, you just told me you have, mate, by exactly doing that. So over to you.
Yeah. So I love that you brought this up, because, David, a few months ago, heard the word trauma and literally would go, fucking trauma, here she goes again, trauma. And now, through the conversations that we've had on the road, you started working with one of my coaches and things like that, and it's just starting to become a normality for you, isn't it? You're observing things. I love it. Honestly, he'll call me up and he'll be like, I've just seen this and I can see the trauma. And I'm so grateful that you have just stepped into that and realized that it's a fact of life, of where we are right now. It's a fact of life. And we really need to step into the space whereby we are taking ownership. Any of you guys that were at Manchester yesterday, you heard me talking about this. There is absolutely no point in us anymore going, well, it's them or it's them. It's, okay, why am I recognizing this? Why am I seeing this? What is it that I've done, or how have I embodied this from my mum or my dad or whoever? It's very, very important that we start to recognize that. Do not be embarrassed of the fact that you shout at your child because you were shouted at. Acknowledge it. Recognize it, because unless you can, then you can't change anything about it. If you go, well, that's what I was shown, and you're not prepared to do any work on it, then obviously you're carrying the emotional trauma response forward. But like David said, witnessing that child, and it disturbed you, didn't it? Because
very much. To me,
it's really, I wanted to do something, Lucy. I want to be able to help these situations, and that's why you are now stepping into this and really starting to recognize it, because you will be helping people like that.
Yeah, here's one parenting thing that flashed through my head was, you got to change the wording of a lot of things. You have something called, instead of saying falling in love, you say rise in love. And I think that's an amazing expression, rise in love. It's brilliant, isn't it? Who doesn't want to rise in love instead of falling in love?
It makes
like,
you
oh,
feel
God.
you can't not smile when you say rise in love. Like, why
Yeah, I
do
did.
people
I
want to
started.
fall and fall pregnant? Like, I'm not. When I rise in pregnancy or when I conceive, like, it's all about the language that you're using, you know,
Oh, I think
falling or falling in love. Sorry, what? Is that
I
going to be a
think you'll
smart ass
be
comment?
expanding in pregnancy.
Lucy, you're going to be expanding in consciousness, my love, when your little
So,
portal comes in.
what I was saying was one of the things I used to do is I never use the words "you're bad." I would say what you did was not great. It was bad what you did. But you're saying you're bad and you did this. You say change it. What you're not bad. You're a good kid, but what you did, you made a mistake. You made a bad choice. That's it. Never tell somebody that they're bad. Just say what they did wasn't great.
No,
And it makes such a
this,
difference on how the child will respond and how they'll come back to you with and respond with love. You say, hey, maybe you want to do this differently next time, or just move it out to the garden a bit instead of breaking windows with the football.
And as an adult, so, you know, I mean, I'd like us to do a proper session on how to speak to children and how to engage with children, because I love it. You know, it's my passion. I'm very, very connected to the children. I love the relationship I've got with my little sisters. And I've just found out that I'm seeing them on Wednesday as well. And I'm like, yay, unexpectedly on my way out of the country, they're going to be at home. So I'm like, yay, this is exciting. But I think it's something that we do need to do. But let's talk about, maybe you're somebody who's in a relationship or something like that. Let's talk about that, because I think everybody has to deal with other adults that perhaps challenge them or trigger them. So let's say, for example, you know, somebody calls you up and they're like, you know, what the fuck have you done? Or why have you not done this? And instantly they're projecting on you. Remember, you can actually meet them where they're at and go toe to toe, or you can ask really good questions and take the pressure off of it. And that's what's very important, is as adults, we instantly get on the defensive because this is what we've learned from our parents. Everybody was about blame. If you think about it as generational differences, everybody's about blame. Really, it's only our generation going forwards now that are starting to take a bit of ownership. And it's not everybody. It's not everybody that's doing that. So my recommendation is, please, when somebody is projecting on you, if, like, let's use Mahoney for an example, because I know he won't mind doing this, but let's say Mahoney calls me up and projects on me about some random shit, right? I have the amazing relationship with David that I can be like, are you projecting on me? You know, and I can, and we have a laugh about it, and then it's like nipped in the bud or whatever. However, it's very rare that you can have that kind of relationship with somebody. So what I would do in that instance, and I've had it with my mum and I've had it with many other people through my lifetime, as I'm sure we all have, it's very important that we just allow them to speak, because if we allow them to speak, we will then learn where they are at with themselves. And it's only at that point, if you're being triggered by it, remember, they're mirroring stuff back to you to heal. That's the only time we get triggered. You know, I've been triggered recently and I've gone, well, hang on, I need to sit with this and I need to go and process this, because otherwise I'm going to be really rude to you, or I'm just going to shoot from the hip, and I don't want to do that because I'm aware of it. Like I can't be a conscious person and help people unless I can actually walk the walk myself, you know, walk my talk. So if I get triggered, which of course I'm going to get triggered at some point, I have to take a step back, reflect, and then go through the process. Sometimes it can be like that. Sometimes it takes a little while. So don't judge yourself if you're being triggered. You're always going to get triggered by someone. And if you're not being triggered, trust me, someone's just around the corner that's about to trigger you.
You can always call me. I'll trigger you. I seem to be pretty good at that.
I know, babe. I know you are good at that.
1-800-TRIGGER. Would you like an insult? Would you like a childhood trauma incident, perhaps? For more information,
what
push
healing
3.
would you like today?
For childhood
Would you
traumas,
like
push
to
1.
do?
For
Yeah,
relationship
for sure.
issues, push 2.
Don't go to him for those. Honestly, don't ever go to him for those. I imagine I imagine you'll get a lot of projection at that point.
Rejection, more like rejection.
Projection.
I'm sorry.
Mahoney,
I'm sorry there's no one here right now to take your trauma call. Please leave a message and someone will ring you back screaming later on.
I think what's really important is we just take ownership of our stuff. You know, that's where we've got to go. It's very easy to blame other people. It's very easy to think that you've got your shit together. You know, a lot of people think I've got my shit together. I don't have my shit together. I'm winging it just like you guys are winging it. I've just got processes that I can run through 90% of the time that can transmute stuff very easily. But that's not saying that there aren't going to be reactions. Go on. Did you want to make a smart ass comment?
Well, it's not a smart ass. It is a comment. I've seen how you've said, "Oh, why is that?" That you recognize when something winds you up, when you get triggered.
Yeah.
But then you have a process where you'll just go back and try to figure out why it's triggered you or processed or made you react that way. Is it the way, you know, maybe that you found someone being dismissive because you're a woman, or is it something? It could be a number of things. You know,
Are you talking
was it
about my
rude?
little
What did he
trigger
mean by that?
yesterday? Are you talking about my trigger yesterday?
Was it, what trigger was that? You know, there's so many. Let me just go to my list, Lucy, and I'll have a little
piss
look.
off. Piss off. So yesterday I was on stage speaking and somebody spoke over me, and I told Mahoney about it because he obviously wasn't there. And it was I just had to address it. You know, I had to address it because I'm somebody who has very good boundaries, and I found it rude. So I actually acknowledged the fact that it was rude in front of a room full of 400 people. You know, but as soon as I'd acknowledged that it was rude and I'd, done that, like there was instant forgiveness. You know, there was instant forgiveness because I know exactly why people do these kind of things. That's my job. You know, it's my job to know that, but it doesn't mean that I can't tell people to piss off. And I think this is the key part of the spiritual journey that a lot of people don't get. You know, I remember the first time I ever spoke with David on stage together in Glastonbury, I all of a sudden turned around and said, "Don't feel that you can't tell people to fuck off." And there was a photo taken at exactly the time David's head went back and he was roaring with laughter because he just didn't expect it to come out of my mouth. But it's the truth. Like, I am very comfortable telling people to fuck off, as some of you would have seen yesterday. I didn't say those words, but I just said, "Excuse me, is my voice not enough validation for this?" You know, like, and that's enough to be, that's basically a piss off in my language. You know, so don't be scared. And instantly, as soon as I'd said that and I got, the apology and whatever, that's it. It's done. Like, I know I'm talking about it now because it's a bloody good example. It's a really good example. But remember, the only reason that person would have spoken over me was because of some trauma that has gone in that person's life where they didn't feel heard or they didn't feel seen, you know, but that doesn't mean that I have to accept it. Okay, so all of you were there watching it. I'm sorry, you saw me get triggered yesterday, ladies and gents. you got the example, but I just wanted to acknowledge it because it's a really good example. So please don't think that people like myself, just because we're spiritual mentors or we've got a big following, that we don't have this. If anybody says that they don't, they're a liar. David knows I'm so honest with it. I'm probably a bit too honest with you, aren't I?
With me, yeah, I'm kind of getting used to it. Sometimes I say, "Is there any way you could have said that a little bit nicer, maybe?"
And
because
I'm like,
no. At the start, sometimes you say it and I feel like just crashing the car on your side.
Triggered much? Do you see what's happening?
Oh, sorry. It was an accident.
There's a healing journey that's taking place here. I'm triggering Mahoney so that he's going to be the most amazing husband for someone in the future. He's triggering me to go on my healing journey. Do you get what I mean? This is what's happening here. It's beautiful.
Hey, whoever said anything about a husband? I never agreed to any of that. Husband.
You'll find someone one day, you crazy man. I know you want it. You can play hard to get, Mahoney, but I know at some point you will.
I don't want a husband, Lucy.
No, well, you want a wife. Did I say you wanted a husband? I thought I said no. You will be someone's husband. Whatever floats your boat, mate. Whatever floats your boat, you do you, boo. I'm cool with it. Whatever you choose. Anyway, we better wrap up because I've got a call soon and I need to eat some food before I do my call. But let's touch on this properly again at some point. I'd like to go with the children. Sorry.
Great subject. How to be a better person. Identifying things from your own childhood that to make you a better person now.
That's a great video title. How to be a better person. Let's do that next week.
Yeah. All right. I'm happy. I've learned a lot of those things. Like, as you get older as well, you get your patience. You let it go. Is the juice worth the squeeze?
He says this all the time to me.
It's true. Do you want to get involved with every tiny little battle that somebody might say something to? You gotta make decisions like that. But we'll get into it next time, Lucy. I've got an interview with two guys in California now, Nick Sylvester and Kevin Hoyt. So I've got to jump as well. But to your audience, thank you so much, guys. This is my favorite interview of the week, the Mondays. I love it because not only do I get to escape from the 3D and geopolitical world, it's something that's a spiritual feeling is growing. And talk to the amazing Lucy Davis, who is not at all insane and is completely compass mentis and is an amazing driver. And she says she's an amazing cook, but I've never seen her cook anything.
Oh, come on. Give us a break. We're always on the bloody road. Like a little sideways dig, ladies and gents. Right, let's end it there. David, thank you.
I'll see you soon, guys. Thank you very much. Happy Monday. Bye-bye.
Catch you next time.
See you, Lucy.
See you next week. Bye.
Big kiss. Bye-bye.